You're checking out Power99.com.
Don't stop.
Power 99, it's the Rise and Grind Morning Show. I'm Mina, SayWhat, Mother Knows is here, and we have royalty in the building.
All the way from the Bronx.
All the way, Remy Ma is here. Ooh,
Mrs. Mackey is in the building.
Right, that's right.
No, this is back, That is so we're smiling from ear to ear. How are you?
We are
Good.
so happy to see you.
Yes, we are.
We've missed you.
I miss you guys too.
You look good, Ram.
Thank you.
Amazing.
You lost some weight. You got the fur today.
It's cold. It's cold. That's the only reason why. Like I love not having a jacket or anything like that. I'm the queen of run out the store with my slippers on and run into the store with my slippers on.
Right.
And a robe, but like it's
Yes, Castle Hill realness.
Right.
Like,
You go to
real quick.
bodega.
Right
real
to the corner store
Right.
with the robe on and the slippers, bonnet and everything. This is not that kind of weather though.
Right.
It's a little serious out there, like a little brisky.
Rem, it's so good to see you. We've missed you as not even just me, but as a community. When you left, there was a void. And it was like, you know how you have chocolate? We only had one flavor of chocolate. So it's like we need our flavors,
Well, there's a whole bunch of flavors of chocolate now. Every time
Right.
I go on social media and I see another female that's coming out and she's doing her thing. I just like, yes,
Right.
so great, so wonderful thing. I'm happy
It's
about
really
that.
nice to have you in the studio. We don't get to
Thank
talk
you.
to a lot of women.
Really?
So no, not at all.
And we big you up every day. We talk about you. We love you.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I go all the way back to the Fight Club with you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a long time.
Thank
and we're
you.
just so happy. You're out here winning. You're doing it.
Right.
I'm very blessed. I cannot complain about anything at all, period. Like I'm counting my blessings every day that something amazing else happens. I'm like, all right, God, you really showing out right now. Like this is just too much. But I think sometimes we be moving around and we be doing so much that we don't realize the blessings that we're getting. Like when you're taken away from that and you're sat down and you see all your blessings dwindle away, when they start coming back, you recognize every last one of them. I'll be getting my makeup done. I'll be like, thank you, God, that I don't got no pimples. Thank you so much. My hair come around, like, thank you, God, my lace front laid down the first time the right way. Thank you. I be thankful for everything. And I'll be like, all right, enough thank yous for me. But I'm just thankful for just sitting here with you guys.
Right.
And you guys having great energy and just telling me how much y'all miss me. It's just all of that. It's just a great
Real love.
Well,
It's a
you're
great spell.
spitting, and we needed that. We need to hear women spitting on the radio.
Thank you. I mean, I do what I can.
Little light.
I mean, that's what this is the part where the modesty goes out the window. Like, yeah, I do. Right? I be spitting.
Yes, you do. Are you still conceited?
Not as much as I used to. Now,
That's like an anthem for us.
Now
we
it's
love it.
weird. Now it's weird. Like when you gas on your own stuff, you're like, yeah, and I'm popping and you know what it is. But when other people's like, Rem, you look so great. I'm just like, thanks. Move on. Next subject. Like
Right.
it's just like weird. It's like a weird space.
So you have an album coming out, 7 Winters, 6 Summers.
Yes.
Just genius title. That's the amount of time that you went to prison
Yes,
for, right?
Well, that's the amount of time that I ended up doing. I actually had more time than that. I had about 8 winters and 8 summers. But I ended up doing 7 winters and 6 summers. And I'll be trying to explain to people when I first was sentenced, I couldn't fathom counting in years. Like it just was too long. I couldn't, definitely not in months. Some weird creeps do it in months. Why would you do that? So many of them.
Right.
But when I had got to the facility and the window that was in my cell, the only thing you could see out the window was trees.
Right. The
And,
seasons.
Yeah. And if it's green, you know it was summer or about
Right.
to be summer. And if it was bare branches, you know it was winter. And I just counted them like that. 2010, 2011, I knew I had like 5 more summers if they was green. 2012, 2013, I had 3 or 4 more winters if they was bare. And then when they let me out on August 1st, 2014, it was 7 winters and 6 summers. And I was just like, yes, 'cause it was about to be into another whole winter. And I just like, I just couldn't. I mean, a whole nother summer.
Right.
It was horrible.
So I've been writing since something about Rem, right?
Thank you.
2008, right? It's now 2017, about to be 2018. You have not released a full project. Has the recording process changed? Like, is anything different when you head back into the studio?
No, not really. I just go in. Sometimes I'll go and I'll do 2 songs in one night. I'll do 3 songs. My recording process is kind of fast. Like how some people work on their projects for months and weeks and stuff. Like I'll go in, I pick 2 to 3 tracks that I like. And I got like ADD in the studio, so I'll put one on. When that one gets boring to me, I switch to another one.
Right.
And I go back to the other one, and I just bounce around. And by the time I leave, I have 2, maybe 3 songs that's finished. I do that 3-4 times, album's done. So
nice.
It's kind of, I'm blessed with one of those, the gifts that it comes fast. Because I know some people that are amazing and they're dope, but it's taking them a month or 2 to get you that crazy verse.
Right, because they got to write it and think about it.
Oh, my God. It's the most annoying thing ever. Like Joe, he's not a month, but he will stay on one verse for like a couple of days. I'll be like, bro, call me when your verse is done.
Right.
Because what we not going to do is stay here in the studio for 3 days straight and keep going to the same song. I cannot. But it comes out dope. It just, he's like a perfectionist. He'd be like, oh, I want to change this line. Wait, I don't like how my voice would sound on this part. I want to do it one time, and that's it.
One take, Willie.
Very, very rarely do I go in and change anything. Very rarely.
Okay.
Let's talk about the album.
Okay.
Any features? Who's on it? And when is it coming
I
out,
heard
Remy?
stuff. I'm excited.
Come on. Give us a tease.
Wait. Well, what did you hear?
Well, I heard Chris Brown.
Yes.
That's the next single.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
It's called Melanin Magic.
Yes.
And that is about, obviously, the title.
It's just about being admiring and loving the skin that you're in.
Right.
I was inspired to write it by a comment that was posted underneath one of my pictures. I had posted a picture, and I thought I looked dumb cute in the picture. Like it was what I was like, yeah, this is a good. You know, you look at this picture, like, yes, I'm getting a lot of likes on this one. And somebody was in the comments. They were just like, oh, I think she'd be pretty if she wasn't so dark skinned. And I was just like, first of all, I never really identify myself with being dark skinned. Brown skin, maybe. Not that I would be opposed to being dark skinned, because I know some beautiful, beautiful people that are dark skinned. But I just didn't understand what would make me pretty if I was light skinned, or if I wasn't so dark. I didn't understand that. And one of my friends who I was talking to, she was like, oh, you didn't know about the silent, war between light skinned girls and dark skinned girls? I'm like, no, missed that. Must have happened when I was away for 7 winters and 6 summers. But we started having this big conversation, and it turned into people doing different types of surgery and people bleaching their skin, and people just when we started looking at all across the board, the famous actresses, famous singers, famous just artists in general. Most of them tend to be on the lighter side, the big ones at that. And I was just like, I need to make a 2017 version,
like Black Girl Magic kind of thing
of Conceited. Like when I did Conceited, it was more so like me wanting people to feel like everybody has something that they can be conceited about, not necessarily just your looks, but you could be really smart. You could have nice handwriting. You could have a nice voice. You could have nice hair. You could have nice feet. Something about you is something that somebody else would desire. So I wanted to do something like that. But for now, for people who feel like they got to change themselves or feel like they need to be a different complexion or something like that in order for them to be pretty, to let them know, I go with my friends all the time, and we go to the tanning salon. They be like, Remy, what are you tanning for? Because I want to be more brown. That's why. I like being brown. It makes me happy. And I just wanted to encourage that. And then to get somebody like Chris Brown, so he not brown, but his last name is Brown, so I gave him a pass. But the video, we shot the video first and everything. The video is amazing. Everything in the video is brown. I've literally handpicked all the girls in it. I'm like, oh, her skin is popping. Oh, I love her. Oh, look at everything, the natural hair, the thick lips, the everything about every one of them. And they're all different shades of brown, but they're all beautiful to me. And I did the same thing. My clothes was brown. My hair was brown. But when I tell you, when I see this video, it's so artistically done to perfection that I think is going to really be impactful. And I hope people just get the message. Sometimes we be comparing ourselves to these unrealistic images that are out here. especially like to people who, and not to say, because this is the world where you can't say nothing. Like, I'm not surgery shaming anybody. So
right.
Don't try to come for me.
Next thing you know that you're in your comments.
Right. What I'm saying is that if you want to change something, do it for you. Like, I hear a lot of people like, oh, well, people always tell me that if my nose was like this, or people always tell me if I had a bigger this, or if I had a small, like, nah, don't do it for people. Do it for you. And even then, just know that you change. A lot of times this is what people who, these younger girls, especially like, miss, you're not even finished developing yet. Like, my nose is not the same nose that I had when I was 17 years old. I be looking at my pictures like, ooh, that nose is kind of chunky there. Look at my cheeks. Like, everything, your face is different. You change as you get older. And I think you'll never really be able to see the beauty that God had planned for you if you start changing it as soon as you think you see something that you don't like or that other people don't like. So, like, that's the message behind that record. And it's still a dope record. It's not like some power to the people preach. So don't hear it and be like, she said it was going to be like, that's the underlying message. It's a dope record.
Let's talk about another dope record that I listen to every morning.
What?
You, featuring Keisha Cole and French Montana. You came through on You.
That's bestie right there. We've been friends, but she's one of the few people like in the industry that I could say that's my friend. Outside of everything, if I never make another rap record, if she never makes another song, that is my friend. If her son ever needs anything, that is my friend. And I just love when I get the chance to work with somebody that I actually love and that I like. Because sometimes you do songs with people and you just meet them.
Right.
And it's cool and it's fun. But when you in the studio and you work with somebody that's your people's, like, you go extra, extra hard. Like, because you want them to win. And she's doing great out there. And that's sis right there.
And she looked out for you when you was locked down.
And
that's a real friend.
She definitely was one of the people like, look, how much you need, what your son needs. She's the queen of changing her number. Like, she's one of those people that like will change her number at least, I'm gonna say 8-10 times a year. And I told him, like, Keisha, why every time you get mad or something, you change your number? I'm like, this, like, you could use the block feature. Like, even I know about that.
Right.
She's like, no, I like the thought of people being able to call me and saying, this number is no longer in service. Like, I want to just know that they're here. I'm like, okay, sicko. Could I just get the house number and just never change that? Don't give nobody the house number, because that's the number I'm going to always have. But she changed it. Every time she changed her number, she reached out to my family, my mom or my husband. Was like, yo, this is my new number. If she needs to call me, if her son needs anything, I got you. And a lot of people in my family didn't even do that. So, you got to respect somebody who's down for you when you're down. Right. Because it's easy to have friends when you up and everything is going good.
So
to be a friend. Friends. Oh, Remy, I love you so much. You look like, yeah, all right. But when my bundles is out and my lashes is off and my beat is not happening and I got on state greens, do you still love me? Do you still want to be around me? Do you still want to take out time of your day and sit in this cold ass visiting room and eat vending machine food all day? Then that's the people that matter to me.
Anyone else that we know that was there for you like that? Because that's when you really see who your friends are. What's
so crazy that maybe that not y'all know, but the one besides Keish that I always talk about, and every time I see him, I tell him thank you, because it wasn't like we was enemies, or we didn't hang out together. Was 50 Cent, Mr. Curtis Jackson.
Wow.
Whenever I put in for an appellate judgment or an appeal, he made sure that letters was written. He personally signed them, telling, the judge, like, if you do grant her this release, she'll have a job. I'll make sure, she has a job over here. This is where she'll be working, X, Y, and Z. Wow. I need to hold him up to that. Like, yo, you was going to give me a job.
What's up with that?
Let me get a check.
We need Remy on power.
Let me get a check. Yeah, I just thought about that right now while I'm telling this story. As many times as I told it, it just hit me right now. Like, yo, what's good with that job? I got paperwork saying that you would give me a job.
Right.
But, like, not just once, but for every appeal that I put in for.
Wow.
And this is when he was moving around doing everything, and he was taking out time to make sure that he put in those papers and signed his John Hancock on it. So that means something to me. If he ever called me and need me for anything, I got him. It's not without a question.
That's great to hear that you have people that really held you down, because a lot of the times people don't even care. Out of sight, out of mind.
You know what it is? I think sometimes it's not necessarily that they don't care, people don't realize the severity of it. People don't realize how fast time goes by. Like, I'm looking at it right now. We're already in November. This year is almost over. It's 2017 is gone.
Right.
So people be like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Or I'm going to write tomorrow. Or I'm going to go visit tomorrow. And before you know it, tomorrow done passed 7 years. And, you know, and to you, it may seem like, because I'm not out here, time goes by super fast.
Right.
I remember I had like 2 weeks left. That was the longest 2 weeks of my entire. When I knew what day I was going home, July 2014 was the longest month of my life. I was waking up like, oh my God, it's been 3 weeks. Why is it still July 4th? Why are there fireworks? Like, I was so mad. Like, August cannot get here fast enough. But, you know, it eventually, the thing about time, which is so great, like, it doesn't stop. You know, it doesn't stop for anyone. So anybody that's currently serving time or that has a loved one that's serving time, you know, time it just keeps going. Nobody's ever gonna stop it. You don't have that power to do so. But you also can't get time back. So, you know, make sure when you do get out, or if you have a person that's in there right now, take advantage of the time that you have, because you can't get it back. You can't be like, yeah, I know I was gone for X amount of years out of your life or X amount of months. Like, that don't change. Like, you never could get that time back. So
while we're talking about this, I'm thinking about Meek and all the support that he's getting while he's in there. Jay-Z, Rick Ross, Freeway, people doing marches and rallies. There's posters and buses. What is your thought on everything that's going on with him?
I think that people need to understand that, first of all, shout out to Meek. You know, you know how me and you give it up. We done had numerous conversations about staying out of trouble and how the system do us crazy. But I want the people who think that this has nothing to do with them, or the people who thinks that this is just about a celebrity, it's not about that. It's about the injustice of it all. And if they'll do this to somebody who has this platform, who has the Jay-Z's and the Rick Rosses and Power 99 talking about them, and they're on Front Street, what do you think they do to people who have nobody, who don't have a lawyer that's going to talk on their behalf, who doesn't have a family member or a fan base or, you know, rich moguls speaking on their behalf? They do them dirty. So, you know, before you quick to say like, oh, it has nothing to do with me, or I don't care, like, when you change things on a large scale, it's just a trickle down effect. So this could affect you somehow, some way later on. It could affect your brother, your nephew, your cousin, your godson, somebody that you care about. And, you know, people need to pay attention to that. I've seen a lot of people, you know, when it was being posted on social media, like, oh, now everybody like him. Now y'all was just bashing. It's not about his music. It's not about him. It's about him being a human being and just being treated fairly. And that's it, not based on what he does for a living or, you know, his celebrity.
Let me ask you about that, because a lot of the criticism that I hear is that he's been getting a pass because he is a celebrity. I don't think people realize how difficult it is to move and do this while you're on probation.
Oh, I'm mad I don't got my bag. I literally have my paperwork in my bag.
I want you to speak on that. How difficult is it for you to be an artist and be on probation?
It's hard because a lot of things it's not planned out weeks and months ahead of time. A lot of things are spontaneous. A lot of things are not in your area. Where, if you're on parole, you're on probation, you're on post-release supervision, you are, by law, you can only stay in a specific jurisdiction. Anything outside of that area, you need permission to go to. So if they call me and say, hey, this weekend, we got X amount of dollars for you in Vegas, could you come through? I can't just be like, yeah, my weekend is open. I have to call my parole. Hopefully they answer the phone. Hopefully they make time for me to come over there, give them the flight, the hotel where I'm staying, all of this information that you don't necessarily have yet, but you have to pre-book. Like, everything I have to do tentatively. And if they say no, guess what? I just booked flights, or I booked hotel, because they want to see where you going, how you going there, where you going to be staying, who's going there with you. All of this information, just for permission to go. So before you know how many times I'm like, hold on, let me check. And by the time I get back to them, they be like, oh, no, we called so-and-so, or the offer is closed, or it's too much of a deadline. So it's difficult to move around. Like, I'm on a promo tour for radio right now. I had to get a list of every radio station that I'm going to, every hotel that I'm staying in, all these places, who's going with me, how I'm getting there, the flight information, and it's a lot. So and I have the same problem. I have people that be like, oh, I seen on her gram she was in Cali, but I asked to go see my grandmama who's dying and sick, and y'all told me no. Like, this is my job.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I have not asked to go anywhere. I'm not asking to go to hang out on the islands with my friends or whatever. This is my job, and my job, unfortunately, in certain instances where I need travel passes, but fortunately for people who thinks it's cool and fun to travel, this is my job.
Right.
This is what I'm doing. I'm not here in Philly because I'm just chilling. I mean, I'm having fun and I like it, but I happen to have a cool job.
Right.
What do you want me to do? But you have some people that feel like they look at it like you're getting a privilege. It's not a privilege. I'm working, and that's one of my criteria, to have a job. Right. You don't have a job, you are in violation of your probation, your parole, whatever the situation is. So if you have somebody that's trying to do their job, what they do is they put you on this long, drawn out release, post-release, and supervision in hopes that within a year, 2 years, 3 years, say I think we had like 10
5 years was his probation, and he would violate it, and they would reset
get 5
it.
more. Who is not, do you know the littlest thing as if we're in a car and we're driving together, right? You're driving, I'm in the passenger seat, you get pulled over, that's police contact for me. And I'm supposed to go and report to my parole, like, hey, I had police contact, whatever. So any little thing that you do, and I have a curfew. My curfew is at 12:30. If I come in at 12:35, I'm in violation. So they give you 5 years, hoping that within those 5 years, you do something that's going to bring you back and give them that ability. But what I can say, for the people out there who are not, in the situation, don't ever give these people control of your life. Once you do one thing and you walk into that court, you give them control and power over your life to do whatever they want. They could bend the rules. How they have things to say anywhere from 5 to 10 years to life. What is the gray area that's in between? That's a long period in between. Like, I need a definitive number. Like, you can't say, oh yeah, for that case you get anywhere from 25 to life. That's a big, considering that I want to live for a long time, that's a big space in the middle. And sometimes people, they think, oh, you didn't, don't do nothing. You don't want to get in trouble. You don't want the police bothering you. You don't want the judge doing this. You don't want to be, don't do nothing. You don't always have to do something. I was there for a long, long time. Everybody that was in prison wasn't guilty. The same way I walk around these streets, and everybody that's out here ain't innocent. Right. So be careful and pay attention to what's happening here, because it could be you. It could be you. And I think that when people realize that, they'll stop trying to. It's the world we live in, this social media thing that we got going on, where everybody has a voice, it's great in some ways, because we can do things like have rallies, and have all these people that probably wouldn't have known about it, or wouldn't have been able to, come and support, to come out. But we also have the social media, the bad side of it, where everybody feel like they could say whatever they want about anything, and people just listen to it, or people put it on these blogs and they make captions out of it, and they drag it to a whole nother level, and it's bad. People end up getting convicted and prosecuted before
off hearsay,
off of nothing, off of whatever was people, they post certain things. So if you quote something a certain way, it's gonna draw attention. It's the same way with newspapers. Just off of my case alone, the only thing, I believe the horoscope in the newspaper before I believe the headlines. Like, seriously, all it's good for is the comics and the Scrabble and the word jumble. After that, it's a dub to me, because I know how they can just word. It's a freedom of speech. They can word it any way that they want to.
They angle it.
And they go and we interviewed someone who was close to the incident. If they was that close to the incident, they'd be a suspect. They wasn't close, okay? Right. So sometimes you got to use, people don't use if I posted something on my page right now, like, I've had enough, I'm done, I'm leaving my husband. No one's gonna read the small part. That's all they're gonna say. They're not gonna see the other parts that's saying, I'm leaving him at the airport and I'm gonna pick him up later because I love him and I don't want him to use the car service. They're not gonna see all that part. They might even take this interview and chop that part and be like, she said it on Power 99, she was leaving him. Like, people don't read. That's the problem. Like, nobody reads. Nobody does their own investigations. Even the authorities. When have you ever seen a cop with a pen and pad going from door to door asking anything? They don't do that. They wait for people to call them and tell them all the information, whatever information that may be. no one's doing real investigations. Nobody's really out here putting in no work, and it's sad.
Talk about it, Rem. Woo!
Yes.
This is why we need you, girl.
I be telling, don't y'all say one little thing about that whole system. It get me riled up.
Well, we don't want to get you riled up because you got a lot of good things going on.
I definitely have. Please don't come for me, Philly PD or anybody else while I'm here.
Let's talk about the shop in North Carolina.
I have permission. Yes, in North Carolina, I have my clothing store. It's called Conceited.
Nice.
One of your favorite songs.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, they ask me, why North Carolina? What made you of all the places? Why not New York? Why not this one? My whole family lives in North Carolina. My mom, my grandmother, my sisters, my brothers, nieces, nephews, like literally my entire family. So I spend a lot of time there. And most of the time, I have to leave from there to go to different events. And I just never could find close to it. They be like, oh, you got to go to Atlanta to the mall. I'm like, I got to go to a whole nother state to go to the mall. Like, that's crazy. So I was like, you know what? One of these days, watch, I'm going to open a store. It's going to be this. And then I was just walking down from the IHOP one day. And I was like, it said building for lease or building for sale, whatever it said. And I was like, sister, what you think? You think with it? She's like, let's try it. I was like, you're running for me? And my little sister was like, yeah, she's running for me. And we opened it, and it's doing great. It's been open 2 months now, and it's doing really good.
Congratulations. Your business owner. Yes.
Like, seriously, I'm so mad that I just got onto it. Like, clothes is like better than selling like drugs. Like, the flip is amazing. Like, seriously, had I known about this back in the days, I would have never risked my freedom all those times.
Right.
It's like, really, like, you start to realize, like, if the retail price versus the wholesale price versus how much it costs people to make these things. Like, it's to the point now, like, when I go shopping, like say, like, this coat, I know it probably took them $30 to make this coat.
Some poor kid in China.
So when I be looking at these prices, I'm like, really? We're going to have a comma in the price tag? Really? Seriously? I know this is bull. So that's how sometimes you go to a store and you'll see something that was $900. Oh, 50% off is $450. And you come back, 75% off. They could do that because even at 75% off, they're profiting like triple and double. So, for all the small business owners out there and the independent women and men that's got their black-owned business, more power to you, and we need more of them. The more I support all black-owned business, all small business, even people who are not, black-owned, but, people like us, the minorities, not these big chain stores. Any chance I get to, shop at the smaller stores, I definitely do because I know how it is.
And you support the ladies in hip hop. Can I just say what you did at Summer Jam was amazing.
I was there.
Sisterhood.
Really? Girl,
hit the stage. You had Queen Latifah, the Lady of Rage, Cardi B, Little Kim. How hard was it to get all these ladies together for one night only?
Would you believe it? It wasn't hard.
Oh. No.
It wasn't. And people was telling me when I first came up with the idea, because at the time, that was like right around when the so-called quote unquote beef was going on there.
Right.
Like, you got to do something about that. And I was just like, I want to do something different. Like, I'm over that. Like, I want to do something that people are going to talk about years from now, something that's never been done before. Everybody get into beef with somebody and go to Summer Jam and, and
call them out.
Right. I'm like, I want to do something different. And I try to explain to people all the time, like, it's easy. It's nothing for me to tear somebody down. My mouth is vicious. Like, I was the kid that when I was younger, like, I stayed with a busted lip because I just didn't know how to shut my mouth. This was like, didn't I tell you, but Ma, let me say what, like, that was me. So my mouth is crazy. But it's easy to tear something down. It's a little bit more work and takes a little bit more effort to build something up. So I was like, I want to build on it, and I want it to be something that people like really appreciate that's never been done. And I woke up one day, it was like 2 weeks before Summer Jam, and I still hadn't. I woke up and I was like, babe, I got an idea. He was like, it's not gonna work. I'm telling you, everybody gonna need their makeup artist and their hairstylist, and they wanted to have this amount of time, and they want to come out this first and second. You know how girls are, and I'm like, nope. I'm telling you, something's telling me it's not gonna be like that. And I made all the phone calls personally myself. I didn't want to talk to no managers. I didn't want the managers talking for me. Listen, this is what I want to do. This is my idea. And I feel like this is the most in a long time that women in hip hop have been talked about.
Yeah, I almost fell out my seat, Rem. And I was in the nosebleeds, Rem. I almost fell from the nosebleeds. It was an epic moment.
No, when I tell you, everybody came, everybody was on time. It was so crazy. Because they paid me. I took my whole budget. What flight you need? What time you want to come?
Amazing.
Who you bring it with you? Where's your makeup person? What's your stylist need? How much tickets you need? All right, you need 5 All right, got you. Like, I was giving my passes to make sure that I wanted everybody to be comfortable. But Queen Latifah, which was the biggest, like, I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I called her and she was like, sure, like, no problem. She's like, I'm in Switzerland, but I'm like, this Switzerland ticket's gonna be crazy. First class from Switzerland. She was like, so I was like, don't worry about it. I got your travel. She was like, no, absolutely not. I got my own travel. I was like, yes, thank you. No problem. Take care of your travel, girl. But like she was so humble. And when we were backstage, if everybody, I tell people this all the time, if y'all could see how we all were fanning out off of each other. Like, oh my God, Queen Latifah, oh young man, I'm such a fan of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Lady of Rage. No, you don't got so and so here. Like, it was so, everybody just love energy. And it was a great moment. And I would love to do more like that. I feel like it's now's a good time for it. One day I would like to actually see the female rap category back in the Grammys. Like, you know, things like that. Those are the things that I look at. I'm not really sitting here trying to fight with nobody all day or go back and forth for my whole career. Like that's not what it's about. It's not about that.
Let me tell you about the Grammys.
Okay.
You were robbed. Okay, you and Fat Joe for All the Way Up. And I said it on air, and I'll say it again. You guys deserved a Grammy for All the Way Up. That song rocked. You hear me? I was surprised that you didn't put your album out on the heels of All the Way Up.
Well, the thing is this. I needed my project to be the way it is right now. A lot of times people, they feel like, oh, I got to go with this moment. Or I got to go with that moment. Like with the Grammys, I have people, oh, you need to put your album out now. Then after Summer Jam, oh, that was so crazy. You got to put your album out now. Then after I won the BET Award, oh, you got to put your album out now. Like, I know I'm blessed. I have so many great moments coming in my life and that God has planned for me. I don't need to rush. Everything is going to happen in the time that it's supposed to happen. And I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that.
Let me ask you about Cardi B, because there's a song on the album that I'm hearing with Cardi B. Is that happening? Is it in the works? Is it done?
It's in the works. It's in the works. But I love Cardi and I love what she's doing and I like to see her growth and I think, like I said, this is a great time for women in hip hop, and she's also a part of the change and the breath of fresh air that's going on. And I tell people all the time, and I don't want it to feel like I didn't put her on, I didn't do anything, but I saw the potential in her. That's why she was one of the people that was on the stage at Summer Jam. She didn't have her record out yet. She didn't, have all the great things that she have going on right now, but I saw the potential in her. And a lot of times you just need somebody to co-sign it, or you just need somebody to show the people that somebody else is worth it for them to listen to.
Right.
A lot of times with some of the greatest artists, look at like somebody like a Jay-Z. Like, he had been doing his thing for a minute before people was like, oh, okay,
right,
this is, who is. Sometimes you just need that little push or that little door to get your foot on the platform before you take it over. So I will be more than ecstatic once the record is done and it's solidified in stone. But I definitely. I'm open to working with so many different people. I'm always a fan before I'm an artist. Like, I'm a fan of so many people. And I think that's what we're missing in this industry too. People act like it's only about them and who you like. I don't know. I'm not really feeling nobody. I don't know who I'm listening to. Stop lying. You gotta like somebody. Like, it starts somewhere. I'm not believing you just live in this bubble where it's all about you. So that's definitely, something that I do. I listen to other people's music. I listen to, different genres of music.
Right.
Actually, hip hop is probably like the least genre of music that I listen to at all. I'm a whole R&B head.
Me too.
I can't sing to save my life. God knew better. What if I know how to sing? I would be cursing people out and hitting them notes like suck my. So singing it at the top of my lungs.
I'm glad you brought up the fan part of it, because as a fan, as somebody that grew up listening to your music, and even Lauryn Hill, I think we've gotten so far away from seeing women support each other. So for me, I like I said, I almost fell out my seat, because I feel like it's something that women need to see, because for whatever reason, for this large period of time, there weren't a lot of us supporting each other and in concerts, performing and putting out music.
Well, what happens is, me personally, I always said, if I get in position or I'm given a platform, I'm going to open the door and I'm going to let everybody in. I'm actually going to stick the door stop underneath the door. And if you could do it and you get God what it takes to pass through it, come in. A lot of times what happens, people get in the door and they close it behind them and they lock it and they bar the windows and they close the curtains and act like they don't see nobody else. You know, people, they don't want to work together. And it's not saying that, you know, it's nothing wrong with loving yourself and, you know, uplifting yourself. But if we as a group, as a community, if I don't work with you, you might as well, you're working against me. If we not working together, it's going to be easy for people to pit us against each other. She got to be talking about this one, or she got to be talking about this one. But if we working together, or we on tour together, or we taking pictures together when we see each other in the club, or we see each other and we wave and we say hi, people ain't going to be able to like, nah, she not talking about her. I just seen them taking a picture together. Or I heard they got a song coming, or X, Y, Z. So it's going to curve all of that. But when it's to the point where you see me, you act like you don't see me. You don't want to take no pictures with nobody. You don't want to work with nobody. It's going to make it seem. That's why anytime I have these platforms, I see people do interviews. Don't ask me about this person. Don't mention this person name. Don't say this. I don't care about all that. I don't care. Like, it's just crazy to me. That's why also when I see people that is listening to my record, like I see a video with Little Mama listening to Wake Me Up, or I see a post that Cardi put up and she quote my record. Like I'm gonna post it and I want people to say it because this is what it's about. Like you could say and act like my record is the #1 added record in the country. I'm not believing that y'all didn't hear my record. I'm not believing it. Whether you like it or you don't, I'm not believing so sometimes people act like they don't see your accomplishments. I see everything that Cardi's doing, and I'm happy for her. I don't see it and be like, oh, why is she on the cover of this magazine? Or like, nah, it ain't about that. Like, I swear, Hov said it recently. Like, people be taking other people's success and making it their failures. Somebody else's success is not your failures. Like, it's just not. Like, that's for them. What's for them is for them, and what's for you is for you. I want what's for me. So even when people compare me to other people, like, oh, you don't have this or you don't have that. Yeah, and I can name a whole bunch of things that they don't have that I have that is pretty good, and I kind of like it, and I'm happy with it. So, you know, I don't compare and contrast myself to what everybody else is doing. Like, I'm worried about Rem and everything in my immediate circle and my circumstance that has to do with me. I'm not comparing myself to nobody. I don't want to be nobody. I don't want nobody else's life because you never really know what's going on with that person. Like, it's all smoke and mirrors in this. With me, I think of the reason why a lot of people deal with me and why a lot of people like me, because it is what it is with me. When I walk out, like, I just got my makeup done in the car downstairs. I came from down the block. I had eyebrows. That's it. And lashes from yesterday. These are my lashes from yesterday. I didn't even do that part.
Well, you look amazing,
girl.
Thank you. That's it. That hair glue on your eyelashes.
You using the glue?
They stay. It stays.
You gotta do what you gotta do
Old school.
sometimes.
It stays. But what I think is sometimes people, I don't ever want to have to wake up and be like, let me turn into Remy Ma. I got to go up to Power. Hold on. Let me get in my Remy Ma jacket. Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm so glad that you're like, nah. Anybody who ever seen, you see me here, you see me in a supermarket, you see me in prison, you see me on my block, you see me in school, everybody's always going to tell you that I was always the same person. And that's just that. If I don't like you, you're going to know I don't like you. I'm not going to act like I like you. I'm not going to smell in your face like I like you. You're going to know I don't like you. I might be cordial. Hello, how you doing? It's going to be real hard, though, to stop my nostrils from flaring. It's like,
I have that problem, too. It's
still
all on my
working on
face.
that. I'm still working on it. Like, it be so many times they be like, they be on the side like this, like, Ram.
Right.
I already know. That means fix your face. They waving their hand across their face. I'm like, damn, the real feelings. I don't know how to be fake.
Right.
I just don't. And sometimes my realness is mistaken for being rude. It's mistaken for being, obnoxious, or she full of herself. Like, nah, that's just how I feel. And I feel like, especially if I'm dealing with grown adults, I shouldn't have to sugarcoat or act like something to not hurt somebody's feelings, whatever. Like, I'm not doing that. Maybe with a kid, I might. Because they need to know the real too. Stop lying to your kids out here, people. They're going to wake up in the real world one day and be mad at you.
Now, speaking of kids, I watch Love and Hip Hop. You and Pap are working on a kid, but you have your career as well.
Yes.
What is the priority like? Like, how are you going to space all that out?
I mean, it's the crazy thing is they're both a priority to me. Like, my husband is my main priority. I want my husband to be happy. I feel like he deserves the world. Like, he is there for me 150%. Like, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people don't get a first chance in this world, and especially in this industry, in this business. So for me to be given a second chance and actually be successful in it and be sitting here at Power 99 talking to you guys about my new record that's the #1 added record and that's streaming all crazy and #1 Shazam, like for me to just be like, and throw that away or not pay attention to that blessing, like it would be wrong. So I'm literally trying to balance everything out so that it works out so that I can do both. And it's hard, unfortunately, as women, that sometimes we're forced a lot to choose family over our careers and over our jobs, because it's just not something, people, no one wants to see. Well, I don't know. I know I probably would look at crazy, like see a girl on stage talk about, run that. And she's like 9 months. Like, it's just like, it's fake. She's just done.
Water about to
like
break.
This. Wake me up early. Like, I don't know. This is a little crazy to me. But it's a little bit easy, I think, with the R&B singers. It just seems so motherly and soft. But I think we get a tough break sometimes as far as being women and being mothers. So I'm gonna figure it out.
Vincent Herbert is a friend to the Rise and Grind Morning Show.
Okay.
And now he's your manager.
Yes.
What is Vince going to do that Pat Poose didn't or can't?
Well, the wording on that is a little weird.
Right. 'Cause you added him, right? Pap is still involved.
Let me explain something.
Okay.
Right.
My husband did an amazing and fantastic job. He wasn't replaced because he did a bad job. He was replaced because he did a great job. And he did such a great job that people like Vince were willing to, come in and help with the project. People like Columbia wanted to give me millions of dollars so that they could work my project. Me and my husband, we pretty much, independently by ourselves managed to get gold singles, double platinum singles, Grammy nominations, Best Female at the BET Awards, Soul Train Awards. I done touched every Summer Jam stage across the country since I've been home for the past 2.5 years.
And Powerhouse.
Right. Every single one. Every single one.
You did our Powerhouse.
Yeah, you shut it down last year.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And this is with just me and my husband. And I think that we got to a point where it was like, we want to take it to the next level. Vince is someone who has worked with huge artists, and he's been in the business for a long time. He has great relationships, and he respects me. He respects me as an artist. He respects my husband in his position. And it just was a great move. It made sense for everything that I was trying to do. It wasn't you're doing something bad, so I'm going to go get somebody else. It was like, nah, we did what we accomplished and what we wanted to do. But trust and believe, he's always there, like, babe, you okay? You good? You made it to Philly? Your security is good? Did you eat? Is your makeup done? Like, that's just the type of person he is outside of my career. Like, that's just how he is, like, with me.
Yeah.
So, I don't ever feel like I'm missing anything. Like, I actually been texting him all day, like, you don't miss me yet? Because I'm so used to him being everywhere I go. It's like weird when he's not there.
Yeah. And people don't realize sometimes you need help. Like, sometimes you don't just have one manager. You have multiple people on your team helping you. You'll bring somebody in and take you to the next level or handle a couple of things. Maybe they have new connections or different avenues.
What people don't realize, it's not even about that people don't realize you need help. People don't realize that no artist is them by themselves. Like, I think my hairstylist, I think my makeup artist, my clothing stylist, my management, my driver, my security, all of these people allow me to be who I am. And it took me going away to realize the importance of the people that are around me. I would be around people and not even remember their names, see them, be around them for months and be like, what's his name again? Like, I literally was like in my own world.
I do that.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, when I came home, I was just like, how was I living like that? Like, so impersonal and so detached. When I was going, though, one of the main people besides my husband that was there for me was my DJ. My DJ. Like, this is somebody that, like, I just seen him when we was performing. Like, he was cool or whatever. But, like, now he's my family. Like, hands down. Like, I have something like, where's bedtime? I'm like, he needs to be here. But you don't realize sometimes the impact that you have on people's life and the impact that they have on you. As an artist, sometimes we get wrapped up and we start thinking that it's all about us. It's not about you. It's about, like, without you guys, like, where am I at? Like, you guys play, the DJs play our music, the radio personalities, they speak about us. Like, they could make or break you. Television people, like, people don't get that. And sometimes that's why a lot of artists, they crash and burn. Or when they're hot, you cool, but don't ever get unhot because you got a list of people that's waiting for you to not be in a position so they can let you know how you made them feel.
Right. I want to talk about your look because I read that you're a vegetarian now. You stopped eating meat.
Pescatarian.
So that means only fish?
Seafood. Yeah.
Yes, I love seafood. Crab legs?
Crab, shrimp, all that. Like, I don't really like lobster.
Okay.
Something weird about it. I'm not really crazy
Calamari.
about it.
Tilapia.
Just going through the...
Not really tilapia, not really calamari. Like, sea bass is like my favorite. Like, that's, I think, my favorite fish. What's the other one that I like? Oh my gosh.
Mahi.
That's good. It's cool. But branzino, I like.
What in
Ooh,
the
that's
fancy
fancy.
ass fish?
Yes, honey.
What in the
That is
unheard of
nobody's
species?
tuna.
Stop it. Let me tell you, I hang out with Fat Joe a lot, so he tells me all the good fish. Like,
Well, he know where the food is at.
He knows all the good food spots. He be like, nah, Rem, you got to get this with this sauce and this and that. Like, he's actually been him. He's like, I'm telling you, Rem, I'm going to get on the same thing that you want. Like, I'm like, you know all the fish. Like, you can get, like, it's so much different things that we don't know.
Right.
Like, growing up sometimes, like, we grow up and we from the hood and we from the bottom.
We know
like,
it's tuna.
All we know is salmon.
Salmon.
Like,
Or
and not even
salmon. People be like,
Oh,
salmon
that burns my
kills
soul.
me.
People
Me
say
too.
salmon. Salmon, tuna, whiting, porgies. So that's all we know. Like, but it's so much different, and they all taste different, and they all like. It's really like I'm enjoying my newfound, flavors and food and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna ask, you don't miss meat?
I don't really
like chicken,
Pause.
barbecue.
That just sounded weird. You don't miss me. I get meat every night now.
Oh, yes, honey.
Nah, I don't really
You need some meat, Rem.
Strangely, not so much chicken, not so much turkey. I didn't eat pork anyway. But burgers and steak, I be like, that's just like every now and then I just like, Wendy's.
Not even a turkey burger? Like,
No, but I don't do turkey neither.
Jesus.
No, but that's the only thing that I ever miss sometimes is like steak or burger. But the chicken and the turkey and stuff like that, not so much. I'm like, whatever. But now I'm scared. Like the other day, I was like, I wanted to try something. I was like, but I'm scared.
you be in the bathroom, Rem.
Now I'm scared to get sick because my cousin, she's the one that kind of like influenced me to start. And she told me she had ate a chicken sandwich today. She was twisted for like 3 days. Like, I'm not built.
Yeah.
Like, I can count on my hands the amount of times I got sick in my whole life. I'm not built to get sick at all. So I'm gonna just stick to my salmon and my
Your
tuna and my
fancy-ass
porgies.
fish. What was the fish?
Branzino.
Boy, we gotta Google
Not
that one.
Benzino, Branzino.
It's good. It's really good.
Well, you're not gonna find that in the Urban Dictionary. You gotta go to Webster's for that
know
one.
what? I'm done with y'all.
Remy,
Stop
let me
it.
ask you, what advice would you give to young women trying to get into the music industry?
I tell them all the time. People ask me that all the time. Right now, great time for women.
Mm-hmm.
Great time for women in the music industry. But also, be you. Be you. Don't let nobody gas you. A lot of times people are like, oh, well, this is the person that's in power. This is the person who you got to take her out so you can take her side. Like, you can't take something that's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can earn your spot. You can solidify your spot. You can make a spot for you. You can't take somebody else's. Like, what's for them
It's for them.
Amen.
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
So, just be you. Like, a lot of times people see somebody winning doing one thing and then they feel like, oh, if I do that, then I'm going to win too. Every now and then it might work. You get somebody that sounds, looks, acts just like somebody else and they'll win. But for the most part, people don't want that. People, like, when I was in high school and we had DMX, we had Jay-Z, we had Busta Rhymes, we had Ja Rule, we had The Locks, we had Fat Joe, we had Big Pun. Everybody, Nas, this one, everybody was totally different. When a song came on, oh, that's Mobb Deep.
Right.
Oh, that's Nas. Oh,
Right.
that's this one. Now song come on, you don't know
Who
it
is on the song, right?
You don't know who it is. You be like, that's not so and so. Nah, you lying. Like they be playing mantras. It's like reindeer games. Listen to the radio. Like you don't know what's going on. But that would be my advice. Be you. Don't let nobody gas you into feeling like you got to do certain things. But also don't take no disrespect because people will try to disrespect you.
Mm-hmm.
People will try to make you feel like this is the treatment that you deserve, or you like, nah, like you move in this like a business as well. It's cool. I remember when I started, I just wanted to be the best rapper. Like I just want everybody to think I'm dope and be like, yeah, her pen game is crazy. And then one day I woke up and I was like, this is a business and I'm a brand. You don't want to learn that too late. It's very more prosperous, more lucrative when you know coming in. This is a business. It's not just about how much money you can make and the fly clothes you can wear and the jewelry or cars or houses or whatever you can buy. That's great. It's a wonderful thing. I love being able to take care of my family and wear nice things and buy nice things. But I also love being able to be a business and turn it into other things and to branch off and do things like open my store Conceive and do things like do other television shows or host other things like that. It's great.
Remy Ma, ladies and gentlemen, listen, check out the song Wake Me Up.
Yes,
Wake
the
Me Up.
videos.
Yes, when is the video? We keep seeing clips.
The video's out.
The video's out.
I'm going to.
Kim is in it. Talk to us about the video.
The video was amazing. Kim was so dope. She looked so dope in the video. We had, when I tell you, it was like the stars aligned. Every time we walked out of our separate trailers, like, you know how they used to have girl groups, like Destiny Child, Beyonce have on the one shoulder.
Right.
Kelly
will have on
the
the
pants.
Yeah.
No, Michelle would have on the pants. Kelly have on the mini skirt.
Right.
That, you know, Michelle always wore the pants style.
Right.
I'm not even trying to be
She was a
shady.
conservative one.
She was the one that was like more I'm telling you, every time we came out the trailer, it was like a girl group. She'll have on like, we'll both have on red, orange, and black. She'll have on this fur. I have on the shorter version of the fur. Her hair be to one side, both of mine be down. We'll come out the next time. We both got on black and white. She has one leg out. I have one arm out. I'm like, yo, you know what?
Great minds think alike.
Like, it was crazy though. It was like creepy crazy. But she was like, I'm telling you, it's zesting, and I believe her. Everything with the record is just such great energy. And I was upset at first when people at first like got shots of us shooting a video and us being in the studio, and they were just trying to make it into something negative, like, oh, they're teaming up to diss people, and it's like, nah, it wasn't. It was literally a genuine like, yo, let's do a dope record. Like, I was sitting there like, yo, I was a Remy Ma fan and I was a little Kim fan, or either or. How would I want this record to sound? What kind of beat would I want them on? How would I want them rapping? How would I want to see them in a video? And that was our motto. Going like, yeah, our fans is gonna be. I'm like, yo, the beef hive gonna. She's like, nah, Remy Ma fan gonna lose their mind. Like, you know, that's how we was in there laughing, joking. So when it first came out, people was just trying to make it into something negative. Like, I was pissed, and I called Kim. She was like, girl, when the song come out and when the video come out, everybody gonna see, and all of that's gonna go away, and that's what happened. So Kim was right on that part.
I mean, even when you open your mouth, your mouth, if Peter bites the picker, I bet you
I
Remy
thought it was
Little Kim. Okay.
Now, I think my favorite part is like when the record first comes on, and you just hear that Kim like,
right.
I'm like, nah, it just gives you chills. Like, that's
Classic.
classic Kim.
Right.
Classic.
7 Winters, 6 Summers. When's that coming out?
Next year, 2018, which is not that far. We're already in November, ladies and gentlemen. So it's really right around the corner. But I got the singles lined up, shooting videos. It's kind of, when I think about it, it's kind of going to be like a visual album because I'm shooting videos for almost every song.
Yes.
Yeah, Beyonce Lemonade.
That's right.
I mean, I wish. We are label mates, though.
That's right, Remy. Columbia.
Get it. That feature.
Right.
Put that out into the world.
I'm just gonna. Y'all don't want to see me die. I thought y'all liked me.
We love you.
I will definitely die. Love her. She's amazing. So
Remy Ma, you support her next year. 7 Winters, 6 Summers, Wake Me Up. Remy Ma, thank you so much,
Don't
man.
be a
We
stranger.
appreciate you.
I'm never, you
And
know,
we love you.
I love Philly. I was sitting downstairs. I was like, Tag, I'm in Philly. No Philly cheesesteak. This is crazy. Maybe
Damn.
maybe I get a bagel with cream.
Damn, maybe they got a
No,
shrimp
don't
one
do
or
that.
something.
Do you think they got a veggie one? Can they just like put the juices from the meat on
And
it
the
and the
whiz.
cheese and the onions and peppers and see what happens with that. But I love you guys. Philly always shows me so much love and support, and I can't ask for better fans than I have here.
Remy Ma, you know what it is. Power 99, Rise and Grind Morning Show. Mina, say what? Mother knows.
All right.
Philly's #1 website.
Let's get it right here then.
Is power99.com.